Hey guys, Bran here, and to try to break up the YouTube Pagan Challenge videos, and I think because of making the YouTube Pagan Challenge videos, I felt inspired to make this video. This is gonna be kind of a soapboxy video. It's something I believe in very strongly, and that is peace. That is religious tolerance of all kinds, really, religious, racial, cultural, societal, whatever, any kind of, just keep plain old getting along, really. And my summary of the whole thing is a life motto that I've had for the last 5 or 6 years. We can't hold hands when we're pointing fingers. And at first, it's like, what does that exactly mean? It means, if we keep blaming other people, only if he wasn't here, it would be better, or it's all their fault. If we keep doing that, it's never going to solve anything. You got to, reach out your hand, uh, and not join them, but, help them even maybe, or, set aside your differences, or as His Holiness the Dalai Lama says, celebrate the differences. Because setting them aside is kind of ignoring the uniqueness and the amazingness of life. So, you want to celebrate what makes us different and realize that's the beauty of humanity. So we can't hold hands when we're pointing fingers. I wrote a blog about this, so I'm just gonna be glancing over at the blog to get some more snippets to tell you. But we can spout off all we want about tolerance, peace, getting along, but until we realize that it's not outside of us, the conflict does not start outside of us. Until we realize that, we're doomed. Conflict, war, hate, aggression starts within us, guys. And that's a really important thing to realize. And it's not global war I'm talking about either. I mean, that's where it stems from ultimately, but I'm talking about conflicts between individuals, between, anyone, and there are ways that you cultivate this anger and aggression, gossiping, complaining, judging, all those different, it's on a daily basis that we, feed this. And it all comes down to blame. We always want to blame everything's messed up because of them, or everything, is their fault, or they should just be different. Why can't they just make up their mind? And even just down to the small things like, why does he have to be here? Oh, great, everything's messed up. I hate this. Like, I just want to leave. And it's just vitriolic and blatantly, hate. And I was recently rereading one of my favorite books, Practicing Peace in the Times of War by Pema Chödrön. Such a good book. It's a small book too. It is exactly 100 pages, and these pages aren't that big. But I had to reread it twice in order to soak some of the information up, because it's profound. And one thing I was reading really reminded me of my "We can't hold hands when we're pointing fingers" quote. And she's talking about Shantideva. He was an 8th century Buddhist, and he was making an interesting point about peace. I'm just going to read the quote from this. Shantideva says, "If these long-lived, ancient, aggressive patterns of mine that are the wellspring only of unceasing woe, that lead to my own suffering as well as suffering others, if these patterns still find their lodging safe within my heart, how can joy and peace in this world ever be found?" And he nails it on the head with that. He's saying, peace will never, ever occur if we, have this aggression and hate in us, and which ultimately creates suffering for us and others. And Pema Chödrön said something that just really reminded me of my "We can't hold hands when we're pointing fingers." And she says, "As long as we justify our own hard-heartedness and our own self-righteousness, joy and peace will always elude us. We point our fingers at the wrongdoers, but we ourselves are mirror images. Everyone is outraged at everyone else's wrongness." And that right there, we point our fingers at the wrongdoers, but we ignore our own, wrongdoing, our own hate, our own judgment. And, the adage of pointing one finger at someone, you're pointing three back at you. How true is that? So, and there's another story in here and that ties into what I think we could do in order to get over this bump. And that's patience. She calls it the courage to wait. And that's, when anger and hate and, all that negative finger pointing comes up within us, we really need to be mindful of it and, watch it come up. And, before we react to it, before we let it react and take over our senses and just pound someone's face in, we stop. We don't let it react. And it's not bottling it up. We let it, arise within us and take us over, but just not, but we won't let it react physically. And what we do is watch what it does, how it feels. And there's something really interesting about watching something like that arise, and because you start to figure out what it is, what it's doing. It does not feel good. You might feel some righteous indignation. You want to pound that person's face in, but when you pay attention, feel it, it is a horrible, horrible thing that you never want to experience. It's like this clenching, this tightness, but then when you see that tightness, you realize it hurts, and then compassionately you let it go, and oh my goodness, it feels better. And she tells a story about this U.S. soldier, and I just want to read a bit of it. He says he wrote about these so-called enemy fighters, the enemy, right? He says, the unknown people who are so filled with pain and hate that they sit in the dark waiting to kill foreign soldiers like him. When they succeed and his friends' bodies are blown into unrecognizable pieces, he just wants revenge. He wants that revenge. He said that each day he and his fellow U.S. soldiers were also becoming men who wait in the darkness, hoping to kill other soldiers. He put it as we think that by striking back we'll release our anger and feel better, but it isn't working. Our pain gets stronger day by day. And the truth that he discovered through this. If we want suffering to lessen, the first step is learning that keeping the cycle of aggression going doesn't help. Feeding that aggression, feeding that wheel of suffering and aggression and hate just doesn't work. It just keeps turning and turning. It's like, a water mill, pouring that water and keeping it going and going, and you think, oh, maybe adding more water will stop it. It doesn't. You have to, and this book just hits the nail on the head, I think. And we can't hold hands when we're pointing fingers in general, in summary. And that leads up to my little last bit of positive news. My quote, we can't hold hands when we're pointing fingers. My life motto, song title, title of my song on my new album. It's now a bumper sticker. How cool is that? That's just so cool. You can actually purchase one of these if you want. I'll put a link below to my music store, which has these. These are really freaking durable and amazing. I love the company who makes these, or who printed this. They also make S.J. Tucker's stickers that she has, and those things. I've had one on my water bottle for like 2-3 years, and it still looks brand new. These are so durable and amazing. These are, very durable, weather resistant. But this isn't a sales pitch. I just wanted to show you how cool. I mean, I freaking love this. This is awesome. It's like, but yeah, you can buy one of these if you want. But yeah, just remember peace, tolerance, all that good stuff. I'll put a link to the post I made too. So thanks for watching. This is a way longer video than I expected, and I didn't even expect to make this video until like 2 minutes ago, which is kind of weird since this video is 10 minutes, but I don't know. Thank you for watching, and I hope you took something away from this. You were inspired, and some I don't know. Thanks for watching. Peace.